almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out. I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh. If you remember, if you guys were with me, in 2020, I did like 105,000 interviews. And in the interim, I was living with my parents in Vegas. And that was wonderful until it wasn't. I love my mom, but she became very angry. And a lot of her anger, she was taking out on me, and I was her target all the time. And I was like, I can't deal with this. Like, I respect her too much. Let me get out of here. And I was sleeping in my car for maybe about a month in Vegas. And then the guy that was co-managing me at the time was living in LA, and he said, you need to come back to LA. Okay.
ML
and
in the chat,
he said that I could stay with him. And so I was like, okay. He's like, I don't have a lot of room, but I'll make room for you. And then when I got to his place, he actually didn't have room for me. So it turned into, okay, well, I'm going to put you in a hotel for the night. And that one night turned into 8 months. Oh my God, you guys. Because every apartment that I looked at, every single time I looked at a place, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there. And so I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. I felt like he was
me. Let's talk about it.
Okay, I would call him and I'm like, okay, can you meet me here? I would tell him ahead of time, of course. And then he wouldn't meet me there. And so I would take video and send it to him. And he's like, no, oh my God, this neighborhood, I hate it. I mean, I felt like he was playing games, and I knew he was playing games, and I wasn't the one. I'm like, come on, I'm trying to make this easier on you because financially, I know it's got to be hard. You're paying your rent and you're paying my hotel. His apartment was $1,700 a month. And then my hotel was over $3,000. Yep. So, and I was always stressed every week because he would pay weekly for the hotel. So every week I was like, oh my God, can you afford it? Are you okay? And he's like, no, I can't, but I'm getting it together. What? You're the one who said to go to the hotel, and you're not approving any of the apartments. Like, it would be so much cheaper to just get me into an apartment. Like, what's the problem?
Wow. Okay. First, let me just say this. I'm a little upset that anybody's playing Dawn from En Vogue. There's a lot of people out there. There's a billion people that would not have done that to you, Dawn. And whomever's doing that to you, curses upon you for doing that to Dawn from En Vogue. That was my childhood. Well, not childhood, but you know what I'm saying. Gee, I had a crush on Dawn. I ain't gonna lie. I thought she was the baddest one in that group. She was bad, boy. She still looked good, too, for living in a car for 3 years. Actually, she's not bad looking for a homeless lady. You know, it's probably the best looking homeless lady I've seen in ever. But let me just say this. Dawn is not a new musician or entertainer. She's been in the game. So my question would be, why doesn't she have her own hotel money by now in her career? Why would she be at the whim of some random manager dude for the last 3 years? You see what I'm saying? Like, at this point in her life, maybe when she was first starting with En Vogue, that story might have made sense to me. But at this point, it's like, well, what happened? I ain't seen you in a minute. So what's really been going on? And why are you living out of your car? And if this is the car, y'all see the background on the car? If this is the car, it looked like the ceiling is coming. You know, the ceiling get the smoke in it and start coming down slow, like in the old caddies. That's what that looked like. So I hope that's not the car. Or maybe she got a truck and there's a curtain up. I don't know. But the point I'm trying to make is, you too damn old to be worrying about somebody paying for your hotel room. Love you though, Dawn. You was that. You could have hollered at a brother about 10 years ago. I'd have took care of you. You know what I'm saying? But you didn't say nothing. So here you go. Living in your car at this point in your life and career. There is something to be said about that. I'm hoping that Dawn finds a way out of that, because whatever story got you there, you need to tell some people so they don't ever do whatever the hell you did to end up in this position at this point in life and career. Like, you've already been a superstar. I'm sure she's been touring. She could just go sit around and talk to people. Hey, I'll have her on the podcast. I'd love it. Just to ask some questions about what the hell you've been doing for the last few years. Because when they had En Vogue performing at the All-Star game, the first thing I said was, "Where's Dawn? It ain't En Vogue without Dawn." And then 2 weeks later, that's where Dawn was. She was sleeping in the car, in a van, down by the river. And it's a sad, sad story. She is too old, too pretty, and too previously successful to be telling us that she's struggling waiting on some man to pay her hotel room bill. What happened, Dawn? What happened? Anyway, we move it into let's get back to the point at hand. So anybody that's hey, Albon, special shouts jumping in the chat. I know Dawn might not be the smartest, but it wasn't smart to be expecting no grown person to be paying your grown ass hotel bill for 8 months and then some. To do what? You couldn't fit in their place? Whatever, man. It sounded like she got gamed, like straight up gamed, like regular dudes do to regular women. That's what it sounded like. Like she flew out for one thing and it turned into something else. And I just thought Dawn was past that in her life and career. And apparently, I was wrong. That, my friends, is bullshit. So, hold on a second, is live. Once again, another Purge the BS must begin. Thank you very much for joining in. Make sure if you are in the chat, you give me a thumbs up. I see my early birds in there. Allison Warner in the chat. Sonny Bricks, of course, is coming on here in the chat as well. I am Z in the chat. Okay, all right. I see we can get this thing started early. I'm not going to take up too much of y'all's time. This is a Sunday night event. So as usual, I got to bring my boys Bricks and Bravo on here to assist in tonight's Purge. So gentlemen, would you join me in another Purge of the BS? Please.
Yes,
Please.
I will.
Yeah, why not? It is Sunday.
I'm getting excited about segregation. We're going to start with the NBA and the NFL first.
No, we can't do that.
Come on, segregation.
Yeah, that would be fun. That would be fun. We went over the segregation topic previously. We'll touch on it briefly today because it's actually kind of funny. But I got some other stuff I got to purge. We got to have a real conversation about some things this evening. But as you know, I'm going to joke around first, if that's okay. That's all right?
That sounds okay.
All right, man. Y'all didn't
Permission granted.
Y'all don't sound like it's March Madness.
It is some March Madness going on.
Right.
There is. But right now, I gotta let you in on the secret.
Bring
man.
back
Right now,
the
I'm not
colored
drinking right now,
drinking.
man. I gave up the hooch for Lent, man. So
Yeah, we did.
Life is a little less fun.
Oh, that's what's up. Oh, yeah, that's rough.
Yo,
That's rough.
True story. So the other day I was drinking out of the colored fountain, right? And the water really didn't taste that much different, but there was some scum around the opening. So I told her to leave.
Some smegma. There was some smegma around the opening.
What?
Wow, we got some college basketball fans in the chat. I got to give them, especially the Maryland fans, special shouts to y'all in the Sweet 16. We got Florida's in the Sweet 16 as well. Who else is in there? I'm trying to think of teams that I actually kind of like. But Maryland and Florida's in there, so that's cool with me. There's a couple more, but shouts to my Maryland folks, man. Hopefully y'all do well next game. All right?
See? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Go Turks. Go Turks. I mean, I haven't really supported the team since I moved to Anchorage, Alaska. But
Yes.
Yeah.
They haven't segregated the ice caps yet, but it's coming.
Not yet, but
got
it's
the
coming.
black
It's
cat.
coming.
if they separating black from white, I'm gonna have a hard time in Anchorage because everything
Yes,
is white.
you are.
So
outside.
My bold pick for the March Madness was Florida. I picked Florida for the winner, so still doing okay.
Shocker.
Hey, I like the weather in Florida. I like the people in Florida.
Speaking of good weather, do you realize that it is 27 degrees Celsius in Tanzania today?
That
means,
look, I'm gonna need,
that means
I'm gonna need you to
86
convert
degrees.
Yeah,
86 degrees Fahrenheit. But what I'm saying is that
none of them heathen units.
The reason why I brought that up is for those that don't enjoy segregation. It is 86 degrees in Tanzania all year. So, well, actually, that's not true. It does go to 33 degrees Celsius, which is about 90 degrees in Tanzania year round, and it's right there on the beach, and it's amazing.
I believe
and
the scientific word for that is devil's taint.
Yes,
I think that's
a beer costs 38 cents.
Really?
38 cents. We three kings could eat a meal together for $17 to include steak and lobster.
In Tanzania?
In Tanzania.
All right, well, I'll have to go there sometime.
If you ever look at the pictures, you will say, oh, he wasn't bullshit. This is dope.
Okay. Well, Tanzania.
I mean, unless you don't, if you enjoy segregation, then, stick around.
Stick around, man. I mean,
because I fought for 27 years in this army so that when I retire in September, I can drink from a colored fountain.
Well, it'll just be colored by the paint that's on it from the people that vandalize it. That's it.
Yes. Only difference is this time around the blacks have guns.
Right. See,
don't say that out loud because they'll be like, "Oh yeah."
I didn't give them the disclaimer yet, so we have to be careful.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. But I grew up around blacks. They were
right. So it's okay. So it's okay.
They were my mom and dad.
Racism. You might call it racism, but those of us in the know, just call it a throwback.
Yeah.
All right, let me give them the disclaimer. Let me give them the disclaimer, guys. Hold up.
That's what she said.
Okay.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing at the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without consequence. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
All right, guys. Well, we're here. And I see people are in here. And I think we're ready to get into our early piece. Now, look, this one is different. We don't normally do music review over here. But this one I had to bring up because I need it to be purged. Okay?
Is this the Lil Uzi Vert Baby Shark remix?
But it's not far from it. There's this guy named Aaron the Plumber. You ever heard of him?
Oh my God! Yeah, the one that was, he was punching that dude with
Captain
a dress.
Crash Out is what I call him. Captain Crash Out has now come out with a rap album. And
I thought he was like the sixth Ninja Turtle, wasn't he?
Well,
Aaron the Plumber?
You know what? I'm going to let you see what the Ninja Turtle has done. Okay, and then you can make your own decisions.
I'm very aroused.
Oh my God, you're not gonna be when this is over with. Hold on a second. Like I said, I know for anybody that's catching this on the live, you're lucky because we're going to have to cut this out after the fact. But the way YouTube works is they let us do it while it's live so you can catch the live event. But I'm going to have to cut it out because I'm sure this asshole copy wrote this piece. I'm not going to call it nothing. I'm going to let y'all listen and then y'all make your own decisions, okay? I'm not going to do that to y'all. I shouldn't.
I haven't heard it, but I have to say I don't like it.
Right.
Well, you know what?
I agree.
Just bear with me a second here. I'll bring it over here for you guys. Just hold on. I don't know if I'm even ready right now. I'm going to be real. Just hold on. This shit is horrible.
That's what she said.
All right, hold on. All right, which one are we on? No, we're not on that. We're on.
Yes, we are. I see it.
No,
you are
you
not
see
qualified.
It. I want to see us. Here we go. I got it. All right. I need to be able to see faces when y'all take this all
That's
in.
what I told her. Never mind.
Pause.
All right. Now, I must warn you that he utilized a hip-hop classic as the beat. Everybody stand by. Please listen in. You can tell me in the chat how you feel.
Yeah, man. The biggest turtle. Overcome every hurdle, man. You know. You're not qualified. I couldn't even celebrate my birthday. Whole world up in my business.
Half the first verse.
Shit,
I
man.
can only get so much.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I do know this guy. He was
Yes.
on Pop the Balloon.
Yeah, that's where it all
Yes,
started.
that's where he started.
That's where it all
That's where it all
started.
started.
That's
I
where
told you.
DJ Comic, you know, my partner. He was on Pop the Balloon, and that thing set his career off too.
Well, I mean, you know, you got to use your 15 minutes when you get it. You know
He
what I'm
won.
saying?
Yeah, but look,
I mean,
it's great, but what's he?
hold up,
What's
this
he
guy
doing?
didn't
Yo? He's
win.
really.
But he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
punched in. He got punched in the face recently on one of them clips.
He's Captain
Yes.
Crash Out, yo. He got in a fight with a woman in one of the Baddies episodes or something. He was about to fight Erica Mena in something else. Yo, this guy's he's a crash out. And he's known for doing that.
He was crying.
Yeah, he also
Yeah,
does that.
yo.
Okay.
He got
Yeah,
something
he's
going
all over
on,
the
man.
place,
He's all over the place with it. They called him a turtle. They
Yeah.
said he looked like a turtle. He embraced it, obviously.
He
as you
does
can
look
see.
like
Yeah,
a
but
turtle.
the thing is, he's doing the rap video in tights though.
Yeah, well, you know,
Whoa.
because he believes
Yes.
that makes him even more hardcore. Told you he ain't right in the head. Told you.
But
Told you
tights
the boy
though,
ain't right.
yo.
The boy ain't right, man. The
He
Yeah.
boy
wasn't
ain't
right on the show. He went real hard on them women.
Yo, he was about to be. He's known for some really illegal, you know, assault type level shit. I'm wondering why the niggas running the streets. To be honest, he seems dangerous to me. I don't
Because he's a plumber.
Is he plumbing?
Somebody's got to reach in that toilet and pull out that stuff.
Is he really plumbing though? At this point, is he really?
Well, I mean, look.
Oh, you know
this
what? I
dude,
forgot
he knows where his people's are. If he's a plumber, you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? He knows where his people's at. That's all I'm saying. This nigga just need to go somewhere. He's trading his entire future for 15 minutes, and that's so bad.
He didn't come across like he had a huge future, bro. When I saw him, I mean, but at least he had himself in check
when he had that
on the
when
show.
he had that vest and that hard hat, and it was on site, and he was working. That was a hell of a future.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why he was called Aaron the Plumber, because he was doing like commercial grade shit. Now he a turtle in a pool wearing tights.
Well,
Yeah.
what did you guys think about the actual song though? That's my question.
It was Rick Ross's song.
True. I'm talking about what he was saying
it was-
over Rick Ross's song.
Oh, I couldn't understand anything but he said, except for that he said he was in prison.
Well, yeah, he was in prison
Yeah, he
fighting
was
niggas,
fighting
is what he
niggas.
said.
Fighting nickels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all I know is that
So-
he was like, we have Rick Ross at home.
I
That's what
like
that was.
bars, yo. Like, I'm tired of, I don't know, like, You know, okay, you had the 70s and disco was the 70s. Then you had the 80s, which was a lot of stuff. Then you had the 90s, you know, hip hop, like old school hip hop and real hip hop. But everything kind of runs its course, bro. We've been doing trap for the last 40 years. Like, I'm just, it's not that I'm saying it's bad. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, music is supposed to evolve. Yeah, like, you know, at one time it was Bach and Beethoven.
Right. The problem is that right now is engagement, and what sells is rage bait. We're guilty of it with our titles and all that kind of shit.
Right.
True.
It's so negative sells, dog. Negativity.
Well, it's just a little bit. Well, it's not that I'm saying that we do have positive music. I mean,
it just
you
doesn't
gotta
get played.
look for it, but my point is, it's just evolution. I think is this the world saying that we've hit the ceiling of music and that's it?
I don't think it's just music, yo. You ever notice how they don't really come up with like new movies? It's all like remakes on all the old movies now. Like
or live action versions of cartoons.
Or live action versions of the cartoons. It's like nobody's coming up with fresh ideas no more.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, they came up with the suit, and now there's just suits.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a T-shirt was it.
Right. Well, they took it too far. They started with the pimp suits and the zoot suits, and they said, let's dial it back a little bit. And so now, they just, let's take a little off the top on that. And then they came back to regular suits.
Yeah, man.
So I'm just going to say, for all of the people that are in here, I wanted to play this. I don't even know if it's fully copywritten, but this is his channel. He's got 60,000 subscribers. So people are following him.
Like, are we gonna go back to the robes, staffs, and sandals?
He's trying to 50 Cent route. He's trying to come off with a diss track because that's how 50 popped off the first time.
Who's he dissing? Rick Ross?
Yeah, because Rick Ross kicked him out of his club. Rick Ross kicked him out of his club.
For pushing women.
Yeah, for pushing some women around. And now he's made a song about it. Yeah, man, you deserve to be out of the club, sir. This is not that kind of club. It's not Fight Club, nigga.
This is the problem. Motherfuckers have no forethought. And the thing is like this. Yo, he kicked me out the club for pushing women around. Do you want to be around with the people who agree that you should have been kicked out?
Right.
Are those the people you want to be around? Who are you telling? Who is this for?
It's absolutely ridiculous. And
this is the type of shit that happens when you get rid of the border education.
You 50 could rap, yeah.
When you get rid of the border education, you will furnish more things like this. Now
we're just going to kick it back to the States. Look at what you get.
Yeah, for the states that haven't been passing nobody correctly for years now. We had 30% people graduating on reading on grade levels. So
I saw your short. Your short was very insightful. People, I didn't really think about that, but you really do stop learning how to read in third grade.
Yeah.
If you ain't got it by third grade, you're now reading to learn. You're done.
Right. Yeah, you'll be
being a turtle in a swimming pool rapping against Rick Ross.
Rapping in tights.
Distorted ass mix that you did on your iPhone and put it on but 60,000 people. And it's a monetized channel. It has memberships on it. So at least he's found a way to get some additional money. Me personally, I would like him to go have several seats after the things I've seen. He's not the best example for people. He
reminds me of a guy that I knew in Baltimore, and I'll just say that.
Yeah,
kind of in the face.
Right. So I'm just saying he's not. I don't know him personally, but what I've seen, I'm not a big fan personally. So when I heard the song came out, I said, "Is he really doing rap now?" Like everybody just want to extend that 15 minutes, and not everybody deserves to extend it. 50 Cent.
Well, you gotta respect that, though, man. Like,
respect.
If you know all you get is 15 minutes, if all you got is 15 minutes, you better do what you can. And he's been on TV.
I was talking to you the other day. I was talking to you the other day. The other day I was saying this, and this is something that I'm trying to adopt myself, is starve the thirsty. All these people thirsty for your attention, don't give it to them anymore, man. Stop talking about them. Stop even mentioning them at all. You know what I mean? Because that's what they want. Good or bad, they looking for attention. So starve them bitches. Let's be done with them.
If I knew all I had was 15 minutes to get this $1 million, bro, I'll be in the Ninja Turtle. No, I'm
Said I'll be in the Ninja Turtle shit.
I'll be dissing Rick Ross in the pool and some taste. If that was my only hope.
No.
I mean, I'm not mad at him, yo.
All right, well, he said I am. All right, well, you know what?
I mean, you expect so much from this rocket scientist.
Yeah, we expected so much more from you, Aaron,
from the crash
plumber.
Out king. Yeah,
like the last Mario brother. He's the Mario brother. Yeah. He's a plumber.
Brother.
Yeah.
Yo, what is it? Gadfly?
Gadfly.
What rapper's a good influence on kids? I don't know. Maybe Will Smith, kind of.
Not if he smacked the shit out
you're
Chris
not.
Rock.
That's crazy. I mean, first of all, y'all.
No. What's his name?
Jungle Brothers.
Not the Alchemist. What's that light skinned rapper, yo? The
Logic.
No. The one that does videos driving around in his car, yo, and he ends up on Sway all of the time. It's an Alchemist.
My son.
Thing. No, but my son is a good example. I'm talking about the guy that he's light skinned. He kind of looks like he's related to me, and he raps like this. Yo, we gotta do this and something.
Oh, you talk about
Black administration.
What's his name? What was his name? Because he was talking about we gotta do better. He was talking about Rick Ross. We gotta do better. That guy.
Yeah, the one that be in the cars.
The light skinned dude. We did a podcast on that guy.
Yeah, the light skinned dude with the dreads.
1D.
Yeah, D1. Yeah,
like
D1.
That is absolutely not who I'm talking about.
The light skinned nigga.
No, he has very short hair. He looks like Shaggy in the face.
Oh, I don't know. But
his name is like, I want to say the Alchemist, but it's not the Alchemist. It's like, oh my God! But he's like the most.
J. Cole. Because we
but he's in that lane.
But he's positive. But he's positive as well.
Yeah,
J. Cole is positive.
But J. Cole is not. He doesn't get the same. But
I'm gonna see if I can find him.
No, but we're just asking. We're just answering Gadfly's question, like what rapper is good for the kids or whatever, or good influence on kids. There are tons of them. It's just they don't get pushed.
I've been
saying for years, man. Everything that's usually advertised to you isn't healthy, yo. Isn't good for you. Like there's no real advertisements for broccoli. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But they're gonna tell you about the triple quarter pounder that's on sale, limited time only. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go look for the things that are good for you. So like you got to go and get those playlists of that conscious stuff or that good influence stuff and go find that. That's what you got to do, because they're gonna push you all that rage bait, all that negativity, all that blah blah. I'm gonna move these keys. I'm gonna shoot these. I'm gonna smack these hoes. Like all that. They're gonna feed that to you. They're gonna feed that to you for free.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You gotta go look and do some work to go get the good stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, speaking of the good stuff, I'm gonna take us over into our next clip here. Well, this is a clip. This is a clip. It's a clip. We're gonna go into this next clip. Hold on a second.
Yisroel Lieb, an Orthodox Jewish passenger, claims he was assaulted and discriminated against by a United Airlines pilot, all because he needed extra time in the bathroom. Lieb was dealing with constipation on a flight from Tulum to Houston when the pilot broke the lock, pulled him out, and left him exposed to other passengers. Just imagine the embarrassment. But it didn't end there. Lieb and his fellow traveler Jacob Sabag were detained by customs officers missing their connecting flight. The pilot allegedly made derogatory comments about their faith. United Airlines and Homeland Security are silent on the lawsuit, but the incident raises serious questions about passenger rights and religious discrimination. Every passenger deserves respect and dignity, no matter their faith or situation. It's time for justice.
But basically, somebody took, but this did happen. That's what's funny about it is I thought it was a joke story, but apparently it's a real story that somebody was constipated on an airplane and the pilot came and got them out the bathroom while they were still trying to let things happen.
Excuse me 1 second. I hate to stop everything. His name is Locksmith. Locksmith, bruh. That's the rapper, the conscious rapper. He's dope.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We got it.
Now
All
get
right,
back
thank
to
you.
the shit.
Yeah, back to
No,
the
but
shit
the thing
we
is,
were talking about.
but it further proves the point that nobody knows who he is because he's not pushed because he's
No,
positive.
mad people know who Locksmith is,
But
bro.
not
It's
mad
just-
No,
enough.
I'm talking about
I
the
kept thinking
average
Alchemist.
person.
Not mad enough.
I'm talking about the average person.
Right.
mad
The
people.
average hip hop fan don't know. That does not know the average.
Y'all never heard of Locksmith?
I personally had not.
Oh my God, yo! After this video plays, put up Locksmith,
Nah.
I mean, we
The thing
can.
is, the thing-
please, yo.
Let's see who's
The
there's-
thing
how
is
many
that we
people
agree
even
with
here,
you.
so I can
We
do
got
whatever I
10
want at this
niggas in here,
point.
man.
we can do whatever we want. We can have fun with this shit.
Alright.
Exactly.
Okay. What'd you say, locksmith?
Just put Locksmith on Sway. He's nice, man.
All
I
right,
believe you.
Well,
I'm
no,
not
I wouldn't
saying-
even play the Sway because that might get us pinched. But just put in Locksmith.
Pause,
yo.
nigga.
Look, I'm not saying he ain't nice though. I'm just saying.
Oh, he real nice, and when
thing
you
is-
see him, you'll be like, "Oh, that light skinned guy that looks like
no,
Shaggy."
but the point remains is that he's not getting the mad airplay that everybody else is getting because they pushing other agendas that they want to have out there.
Mhm.
That's all I'm saying.
And he's 100% right.
Bro.
You are 100% right, my friend.
There you
All right, we
go.
got
Pick
1
any one
year
of
to
them.
go. Let's go with
We
this
done
one.
made classics up here.
What we doing?
This is the year of the MC. Welcome to the valley of the hyena. DP drop a beat.
You can say to try to D-block. Just cut her off, keep moving and weigh it later. Where I'm from, we had to learn to keep it playing. Look, I'm from a city where skinny niggas are brutalized. The same turf where your self-worth is what you provide. The same soil where they pretend that they loyal when growing up being jaded is celebrated in proof of pride. No trophy, no album adjacent. Now you ponder why the genre's in a decline. Everything disposable, nothing worthy to rewind. We're contentless and starving, so they provide you with just enough drugs so they can drown you. After you dead and gone, they blame the niggas around you. Ask yourself what you do, then you become what you despise at the roots. Rooted in jealousy, let us eat while they jealousy. Jealous with just felons and let us sleep in a cell and sweep. It's in my cells, I'm celebrated, I self-critique. That's why I exhale and I exhale while you get to breathe. You capping us in your capillaries. I cascade and close caption and captivate to the casket carry. Full of doubt like a non-believer was asking Mary how you managed to carry that package, you an adversary. Marry the mission, lyrics the wedding ring. Those who don't believe in nothing, believe everything. Paint the throne, whatever you can't condone. Babylon until you horse on course with ancient Rome. Right or wrong, we play along pretending. We don't even care if it's good, long as it's trending. We keep extending our limits, receding closer to the point we can't distinguish what's dope from mediocre. That's $1 million worth of game. You see, the circumstances made me bitter.
You can
Said I
stop
was too
it,
touchy-feely to be a major figure.
There's
But when
plenty.
it's cheese
There's
at
plenty. I
stake,
see the timeline.
Yeah,
That
it's
is-
like 15
He
minutes
goes
left.
on the whole 11?
Bro, that dude is he's an unaliver. He's nice, bro.
Wow. That's actually
Every clip you will ever see of him is at that level or better, yo. Locksmith is nice, bro.
all right.
Oh yeah, Locksmith is definitely
Only
dope.
problem is
mean,
I don't think I would want to hear Locksmith album though, yeah.
Like I listen to the freestyles because I like the message. I really
Yeah.
do. I like the fact he's keeping it clean. He's saying what he got to say. It's good cadence. I like it. I like
That's
it.
that's
the
the curse of
problem
a
with
battle.
me.
That's
I'm
the
a-
curse of a battle MC. That's the
Yeah,
curse of a battle
see,
MC.
I'm a hypocrite when it comes to that, man. Yeah. I'm a hypocrite, man. Because I want music to be more positive. Man, that damn audience goes so long. Like, I want music to be more positive, but like Goods the Animals start spitting and start talking about flipping a brick, and I get excited. I'm like, yes, talk that shit.
Well,
Nick.
it's the understanding of the difference between reality and entertainment. Like with movies.
We understand that.
Right. And that's
You
where the
don't.
problem is, we understand it, but a lot of people need it in order to validate whatever it is they're saying. So even if they weren't doing the shit, they got to do it in order to validate the music that they're doing. Because right now, that is all anybody's pushing. Even me, I don't even listen to like a lot of trap music, right? But
Right.
YouTube recommends me music all the time. And there is a
Yes,
lot of
'cause it
trap
knows who
music
you
they
are.
recommend me. And I'm like, well, I only listen
Yep.
to a couple of artists that might even be in that genre, and I don't even listen to their whole albums. There's just certain songs that I like, right? So I'm always wondering, is this all the music that's available, and that's why they're sending it to me? Or what Bravo's saying?
No, the thing is, yeah, you gotta keep digging. You gotta keep, because anything worth having is worth working for. That's it.
Right.
And like I said before, the actual crux of where all this shit meets is accountability. Nobody's accountable for anything that they say anymore because everybody forgets for 15 minutes. And that's the real problem.
There's this one thing that nobody ever talks about, yo. Like, bro, if you still hustling for barbershop Jordans, yo, drug dealing ain't for you. And then you also got to remember this. The people that you are listening to on the radio ain't get caught, yo. You get caught. That's what happens, bro.
Yeah.
And then if your favorite rapper is still out there busting them things in the street with a contract, then he's not smart. Like
that's why I said he's talking about Gucci Mane, because he was like, they give you just enough drugs to drown you, and then they blame the niggas around you. Look at everybody who's been on 1017 or Brick Squad. Anybody that Gucci Mane has signed, they're either dead, locked up, or they're on their way out. Look at it. And like literally, he had 2 artists OD in a row, dog. Like, I mean, that's what he's talking.
What did they OD on?
Shit, he was probably
pills.
giving them.
Pills that I think.
Oh, I can see that.
Because I think one was Enchantress, and then the other one was I can't remember. But yeah, yo, I just watched a video on like.
Who's the last rapper that OD'd on cocaine?
Are you recommending that they change their drug of choice, sir?
I am, and I'm going to explain to you why.
Yeah, take drugs that make you productive.
There you go. Look at Motley Crue. Look at what is it? The Rolling Stones. That guitar player is 176 years old, and he's still in the front row. What's his name? Keith Richards.
Yeah, that dude is like 90% drugs and 12% bone. That's what.
It's like, why do our people always latch on to bullshit? Like, okay, we started advertising for Colt 45, then it was St. Ides.
Yep. English Old English 800.
Newports, like everything that, like it literally is.
The
it's
worst
almost
version
like
of everything.
It's almost like the conglomerate chronologically shows you why our what is it? Your mortality rate is that what's the death rate?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, the mortality rate is lowering. Like our friends are now leaving planet Earth in their 40s, but the slaves and the children of slaves, like to include my great grandmother, who I knew for like 2 or 3 years, she lived to be like 103. But now the life expectancy of our peer group is 40 to 57.
That shit crazy.
And
Yeah,
what
that's
did we do?
that's because her morning juice didn't have red 40 in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But my father used to always say, always bet on the white guy. And I said, well, what is that supposed to mean? He said, well, what are you smoking? I said, Newport. He said, well, what is he smoking? He said, Marlboro. I said, but we all getting cancer from it. I said, yeah, but when he said, my dad said, yeah, but when are y'all niggas dying? And when are they dying? I bet they got 20 years on your black ass.
Yo. So you know what's funny?
Get some new dope.
I thought. Honestly,
you see that there? That's new Coke.
Yeah, it has no smell. It's great.
I honestly thought that I was going to get to a few other things in this particular episode, but you guys have gotten me to a space that really was the topic of the episode, and I don't want to go away from it. Just for the sake of, doing funny shit for the people. So if
it's okay because man, we don't drink anymore until April 17th. So like we can't be up that late tonight. We don't have the drunk energy, man.
We don't have the coons.
Yeah, if you think this is funny, that's just because we're fucking assholes.
That's just because we're angry.
We're not buzzing. We're just pissed off and bothered.
Well,
Now, speaking of cocaine, what were you guys talking about?
Right. I want to tell you.
Cocaina.
I don't like cocaine. I just like the smell.
Yeah, it's got an arousing aroma.
Yes, it's
invigorating.
Yeah, it takes you there. So,
well, you absolutely got to get shit done.
Yeah, you remember Family Ties, yo, when freaking Michael J. Fox was hooked on speed. He was shooting out A papers and shit until like the last paper. And he got, he broke down, but I'm thinking, yo, if you got straight A's this whole semester doing freaking speed, that one final only brought you down to like a 92.
Yeah, you should be all right.
Was that the prequel to Limitless? Like, what?
Like, think about that shit. Like, black folks, bro, what do we do? I mean, and I think it comes from the fact that we are the end result of slavery. So naturally, what kind of things would we be into? Not stuff that makes you work better. Shit that makes you not want to work. Like, you wake up and blow some trees, and you like, man, I'm chilling, nigga. Like,
I think you want to something right there, because certain ethnicities will take drugs to enjoy their time or improve their time, while other ethnicities take drugs to escape their time.
Right. That's why people smell like weed at work now, because they want to escape.
That's so crazy. Like, that would not fly like freaking 20 years ago, 15 years ago.
Bro,
like, it wouldn't be okay.
You know what I do for a living. I'm not going to put it out there like that, but I was in a federal facility and a gentleman walked past me and said, "What's up?" And I was like, man, that don't even smell like good weed, bro. Like, you smell like old basement. And you're walking toward your supervisor, who then greeted him with a pound. Like, what's up, bro? And they both stunk.
Everybody smelling like weeds.
At work. This isn't even a legal state for it. Like, we're just escaping reality at work now. Like, okay, well.
This is where you should concentrate. Like, this is where you should be putting that attention in. Like, I don't know, man.
All right, well, look, guys, I'm going to bring the camera back over, but I got to give some shout outs to our chat folks here. So hold on 1 second here. Hold on, Jeff.
Allison is doing a great job.
She got the wrench. Yes.
Allison got the wrench. All right. So first and foremost, of course, we're going to give a shout to Allison for now handling moderation. You earned your wrench. You got your wrench, okay?
You got the wrench.
Be happy with that. Hey, shout out to Not a Code of Personality jumping in the chat. John David just jumped in the chat. Danfield jumped in the chat. Who else we got in here? Andrew Martinez. I know you don't like when I do that. I know you don't like when I do that. Jumped in the chat. Let's see what else we got. All right, couple of folks in there. Al Bond still in the chat. I know you're still out there, man. And the Daddy Rando Experience decided to make an interesting comment.
Oh, God, that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
She got the wrench. She got the wrench. So, guys, the topic of this particular episode, it really was about this situation with Big U and this new charge of like some mafia level stuff going on. And aside from that, it made me ask this question that I know is going to sound like a yes or no question, but I kind of want to have a discussion about it. Is, have we assimilated gang culture to family? And so we find that our people seem to be gravitating more towards people who represent negativity than positivity.
I have thoughts on that, and the thing is that I don't think it's more of a gravitational or perversion of what of us going towards the confusing families and gangs, because gangs were normally created to protect neighborhoods from bad people and outsiders, and so they used to do community work.
They used
to, you know what I mean? Because that's
right,
all they could do.
Right.
But then then it got corrupted. You know what I mean? Then it got corrupted. So that brotherhood is still there. we are going to protect each other. That shit is still there, but now they're just a scourge on the actual neighborhood.
I would have to say this along with what he said. If I were going to be in the streets selling poison to my people, then I would definitely be in a fraternal order. Because if I have to go up the road to the fraternal house, I would like to be surrounded by people that have my back, as opposed to people that are trying to get into my back.
That is very interesting. Well, the reason why I was really asking is because, I don't know if I had talked to you guys about it, but I recently, my son lost a friend of his to random gun violence, just on some real goofy kind of stuff, right? And it just kind of made me think about at which point we like glorified black gang culture. I remember there was a time where like the Italian mafia was sort of glorified. I remember we watching The Godfather when we were kids and stuff like that. But they all died in these movies. So there wasn't like a good end to it. It started fun. Everything was fun. And it always ended bad, right? So it was kind of like the lesson was, yeah, you might ascend to certain heights, but you're going to end bad. But what we also did as the black community is we assimilated these things to greatness. All due respect to Snoop Dogg, but Snoop is not supposed to be necessarily gang culture. You see what I'm saying? And I think he's still representing something that has been harmful to the community, and people look at it as a cool thing because he's crip walking and doing all this cool stuff and shaking hands with the white people, but at the same time, Big U is setting up Nipsey Hussle and other people to be killed in his own
Is that
gang.
a fact?
Ask anybody who's still cripping about Snoop. They say he's a politician. And that's facts.
True.
They say Snoop is a politician.
But was that
and they still on the fence
asking?
about how he handled the Pac situation. They still on the fence about that. So I don't think he really represents gang culture. I think he claims it and he has a proper claim to it, but I don't think the streets rep him as much as he reps the streets. I'll just say that.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. But see, the people who aren't from the streets per se, they will see it as a glorified culture. You know what I'm saying? Even Nipsey Hussle, who I do have some respect for because of the things that he did once he kind of got past doing the, just rap, he repped it all the way. You understand what I'm saying? He would say, yo, blue rag around my forearm, I don't care where I'm at. Got all this money, got all this, I don't care. I represent this culture because when he was young, he felt like the streets saved him and raised him. So he felt like this.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
But it seems like everybody that feels that connection to that, eventually those same streets and the same gang that they're part of ends up coming to kill them. And that's why I'm like, why would we glorify anything that seems to end like that?
Well, the thing is that in order for them to even make it to that point, because it's still a jungle on these streets, so they have to work in packs to survive, right? They got to adopt some kind of thing. And I agree with what Gadfly said. There's there's not enough strong men at home and all that kind of stuff in the streets to be calling these young people. I don't understand the angry women part, but I'm not gonna bite that bait. Right. But what I will say, you know what I'm saying? What I will say is that I can't condemn gang culture because unfortunately, some people got to band together in order to survive.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they got to kill each other, though, man. It's all I'm saying.
No. But here's the funniest thing that that's the weirdest way to say it. But here's the strangest thing. Do you know the murder rates have been going down steadily over the last 10 years? You know what I mean? But crime reporting is up like 75%. You know that?
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what so the murders are not happening nearly as often as they used to, right? First of all, murders are going down. Violent crime is going down in general. There may be spikes in different areas, but the fear mongering and the reporting of said crimes is up over the last few years. I don't think that's coincidence.
I don't know, man.
It's not.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna be. I don't know. I haven't been watching my Baltimore news for a while, but I don't know. They're still getting 350 to 360 murders a year. Pretty much somebody every day up there. I don't know. What I do know personally, right, is everybody thinks that they hard as shit. They do. And
everybody has a plan.
Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. And so me personally, because I'm an adult now, right? There was certain stuff I did in my teen years, early 20s and stuff like that, that now if I see somebody doing it, I've now learned my lesson that wasn't the thing to do. And I'll tell them, hey, don't do that, right? I always wonder why these older OGs don't really seem to do that. And by Snoop dancing around in blue rags and stuff, like I said, all respect to Snoop. I was a big Snoop fan. I'm just saying, he's like 60, still OGing, and that's not telling the kids to stay out of the gang culture because they see that, okay, you can end at 60 and be Snoop.
Wait a minute now. I've seen some of the stuff that Snoop does behind the scenes, and that is direct contradiction. He may do that with the music stuff and sometimes in these videos, but he's a very positive influence to a lot of these kids, bro.
In a certain light. I'm not talking about the people that he's personally interacting with off camera. I'm talking about when the camera's on and he's on the Super Bowl or whatever large stages and people are looking at him, he's going to represent that culture. You see what I'm saying?
But he doesn't say it all the time. Like he didn't say nothing about Crips.
You're wearing the blue, you're wearing the bandana.
He was wearing a suit at the Trump thing.
But that's what got him where he was. But that's what got him where he was.
Okay, but
if he turned his back, no, which is worse? When if he turns his back on everything that got him to where he's at?
I didn't say turn the fact that he's still.
But what did he? But that's what he rode to get up there, yo. Pause. But that is what he did. That's what he represented on his way up to the top. If he totally just stopped talking about it, stopped saying anything about it, or even badmouthed it, he would look like the ultimate turncoat. He would look like the ultimate sellout.
So who's
more than standing next to Martha?
Then? If not the person that's done it and come out of it, who's supposed to say it?
Parents of these children.
But they don't have their parents. That's what they was just saying in the chat, man. Some of these households be broken. The parents.
We can't worry about the sum. We had to do something that covers the most. We can't keep on throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
But that's
we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We have to try to do as much things as possible.
I hear what you're saying, but I have a responsibility to tell my kids and show my kids now that I know certain things that I did when I was younger that I know may have worked out for me, but they weren't the best thing for me to do.
But that's not his fucking job.
Why is that not his job? He's an OG. The OG's job. That's the OG job.
That motherfucker is a rapper, and that's how you know him. You don't know him because he's an OG. You know him because he's a rapper.
I see what you're saying.
Why is nobody over there, you know what I'm saying, wearing t-shirts of their local chairperson? You saying somebody who actually does something in their neighborhood. That's what I'm trying to talk about. We look at entertainers as if they're prophets. Stop it.
Well, do I agree with what you're saying? Yes, I agree with what you're saying. However, I'm not going to a porn star and telling them to give a positive message if they're doing what they do all day. Like, that's your job to be a porn star. He is a gangster rapper. He's not even like an NWA rapper that was like, kind of had a positive message if you think about it.
Right, like
they were trying, you know what I'm saying?
But they tried, but they also had a song called Fuck the Police, which people gravitated towards.
I mean, Michael Jackson had a song really telling this chick that ain't my damn baby.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
And Michael Jackson will go down in history as the only person to use the word kike in a song, and they played it on the radio, if you didn't know that.
Well, it sounded like
we'll edit that out.
I won't ask you to, don't say
No,
that.
it was in the They Don't Really Care About Us song. And it was like, he used that word. Again, I'm not going to say it again, but I'm saying he's the only person in the history to be able to use that word in a song, and it played on the radio, and they didn't cut it.
That's because Michael belonged to everybody.
He was like, you know what? He's one of us. He could say it.
Right.
What was the first question that you asked? Bravo responded to it, but I didn't necessarily understand.
My question is really more or less along the lines of what we're teaching in terms of loyalty and family. And it seems like, from what I'm seeing, that even kids who have a family are gravitating towards this culture because it seems like it's more inviting. But then at the end, it always seems like everybody gets killed. And that's what I'm saying. Nobody's even talking about that.
The problem is this. Let's say you have two parents in the home, right? They're doing things the legal way, let's say they're bringing in a total of 45 to maybe 50 grand a month, but they really are working hard.
A month? Nice.
I mean a year rather.
Right, really.
Exactly.
Nice.
Okay.
So they go to school and, the kid comes home from school and he's got the shoes and clothing on that his two parents can afford. So guess who's making fun of him? The gang members that are standing there on the block that he walks past every day.
So why?
Or the kids in school that have more. Right. So what I'm saying to you is, yeah, Dad, I want to do things your way, but look at how I got to dress to do it. I'm getting clowned. I have to fight every day because I have to wear these damn cheap shoes. And like, I could go run with them, be safer, because if they decide they don't like you, Dad, they going to come over here and whip you in front of me.
So if that's the culture,
I could go get money with them niggas.
But that's you're making my point in a way that I couldn't make it. You're saying the things that I think are bad about it. So why push a culture that's basically taking kids who might not have the most, making them feel ashamed of that, and then manipulating their minds to sometimes commit crime?
Because you want them to be in prison so you can make money off of them. That's why they keep pushing this.
Well,
that's why you don't hear no more Bahamadeers. But I'm just saying in general.
What you're talking about. You're talking about people who are in gang. No. You're talking about. No, you're talking about people who are in gang culture who make it to a certain echelon where it's advertised and they big up their stuff, big up their gang culture. That's what it may not be music, may not be just music. It could be TV, videos. It could be internet culture. It could be anything. But anybody who started off banging with that gang and then carries that up to where their success is, that's what we're talking about. But the whole thing is that these are all entertainment.
Well, no,
it's all entertainment. I think, and we don't push the levers on those entertainment wheels.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say, Bravo. Snoop was an example, right? Mm-hmm. But it's not Snoop in the house pushing this shit to these kids on a regular basis. Most of the music that they listen to now ain't Snoop. I was just saying that culture, nobody is saying that's not the thing to do. When people get released from jail for murdering folks, we throw a whole party for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're celebrating. The guy in the hood that everybody's scared of, not the guy in the hood that was not the part of Snoop like the football donations and all. They don't talk about that. It's all, he's an OG, he was this. Even if he's not that anymore, they equate him with that. So why can't he and other grown people, not necessarily Snoop, but grown-ups, be able to tell the kids not to do that? That's what Big U was apparently doing, but then it turned into something else, and that's what they're saying, he's behind some shit. It's all allegations at this point, but a lot of people got arrested. But the point I'm trying to make is he utilized trying to speak against gangs as a way to get money, and then he did some, or at least they're saying.
Are you talking about everybody who was hanging out with Adam 22, Big U, and Brick Baby, all of them?
All of them. Everybody who's in
that's
this,
because
but the point
that's a whole different topic. That's a whole different topic. We need to stop entertaining visitors. We need to stop letting visitors. We need to stop giving the visitors the keys. I'm talking about Adam 22.
But
I'm talking
Adam
about
22.
Trap Lord Ross. I'm talking about Trap Lord Ross. I'm talking about the dude with the gold teeth. He went from hip hop to country. That dude, what's his name? He drinks the beer bongs or whatever. Beer bongs and Bentleys. What's his name? Post Malone. That's a visitor. We gave him the keys. And he ran away.
But that's what
I'm saying. You know what I mean? We need to stop entertaining visitors.
But we can't. Here's the thing. I'm not worried about the visitors, man. The house is fucking dirty.
That's the problem.
The house is dirty.
But that's the problem.
The visitors aren't the ones dirtying up the house, though, in my opinion. The visitors are coming and assimilating to the shit that we made okay. That's all I'm saying.
Dog. You can't start cleaning up from after the party if the party's still going. You gotta kick some people out.
But this is really what I'm trying to get at. If we were able to give people a much more positive view over family, if we didn't have so many broken up, dysfunctional ass homes, I personally do believe that people wouldn't run to gang culture because it wouldn't appeal to them.
How do we do that?
How do we do that? We're already past our time. We're already, married, got kids, grandkids, all types of shit going on. So our job is to now say, yo, stop running the fucking streets for no reason, because there's people out here have less than you This is how this child got murdered the other day. Let me finish this piece. This is how this child got murdered the other day. He was with somebody who he called a friend who didn't like on him because he had more than him. And he didn't want to give it up, and he tried to rob him and ended up killing him. All because he just had more. He hadn't done anything wrong to him personally. Just having more than a nigga makes a nigga want to kill you. That kind of thought process is a gang process. Like you just said, they're making fun of the guy for walking down the streets without certain shit. We bullied kids. We know what it is. If you had some, we don't know.
Get it.
Well, okay. But the point I'm trying to make is, when we get to a certain point as adults, it's our responsibility to turn around and tell niggas, don't do the shit I did, so you don't have to go through the things I went through. I don't know what Snoop went through, but I'm just saying, if he's still making the culture look good, he's not saying anything's wrong with being in the gang. You see what I'm saying? Me personally, I don't think.
But here's the thing. Here's my answer to the one I asked you when you say, how do we do that? That's always what trips people up. That's always what trips people up, because a lot of people like to say this, that, and this is the problem. Nobody says what they do. And I say, just in your daily actions, be positive. Any person you see, say something cool. If it's not your business to get into something, don't try to worm your way into something where it's not organic that you can help somebody out.
Right.
But just be positive. And just if you see somebody, help them. You know what I'm saying?
But
just
how do you get
that,
people
because
who don't think like that to think like that? Like, we would help a motherfucker on the side of the street.
Like a black father does. Lead by example. But that's exactly how you do.
If I'm not, see, me personally, I'm not in the culture. I'm not close enough to anybody's gang members to have any influence directly on them.
You don't start at the
right?
gang. You don't start at the gang. You start where your realm of influence is, and then once you get that, then your realm of influence expands. You can't
I saw a
jump
clip
right to
the
the
other
end.
day. I saw a clip the other day. This judge looked at this man and said, "For the first count, I'm giving you 20 years to run consecutively for the second count." Until she said consecutively, all the way till she got to count 14, which was for 5 years. I was like, man, this guy just got 280 years.
Yep.
And what I'm saying is, but see, that's a slippery slope. But honestly, if you in that gang stuff, man, them judges need to start giving y'all years. Give a nigga no hope.
No, I ain't good.
No, I'm just playing.
That's Brick's answer. Brick said, you know how we fix this? When they go down there, they don't come back. That's how we fix this.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, like, I
don't
have an
answer.
answer.
See your Cash App after this episode.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see your
exactly.
Cash App after this.
No, I don't. Honestly, bro, I don't have an answer, because the one thing that I do know about male and female is young people love clubs. Like, take all of the crime out of it. What are they in? The Glee Club? The chess club?
Right.
The varsity football team?
I think certain cities like clubs, but I think in general, kids don't like that.
Oh my God! Yeah, no. I'm saying, think about this, bro. Like,
fuck them kids.
look at the rap. Look at when we was in the battle rap apps, right? Everybody wanted to be in the certain group that. Okay, this group is a battle group. There's another battle group.
Sorry.
Just groups. That's what I'm saying. People love groups. Like, even grown-ups. Yeah. Oh, let's get in a fraternity. Why? Because the group can help you advance.
Right.
Well, in the hood, the group keeps you safe, but it puts you in harm's way at the same time.
Exactly. So that's why we
people
can't
are afraid
promote
to be themselves.
But this is what I'm saying. Why would I give anyone a positive outlook on a family to which my membership starts by them whooping my ass? Okay? I know fraternities.
Well, that's the same one you got in the hood, yo, when you were a
but
kid.
That's my whole point is, if I got.
So are we talking about the army or the gangs?
Jumped into my fucking family. I didn't have to be jumped into my
family.
Are
we talking about the armed services, or are we talking about gangs?
No,
wait a minute.
I'm talking about fraternities, nigga. No, I'm just playing. But
the fraternities beat you in too.
But they don't beat you in like a gang. And when they do, the fucking dean shuts shit down. You know what I'm saying? It's not supposed to happen.
If somebody tells.
But a lot of times people do tell.
I've seen tailbones get shattered.
About that.
I can't say a lot of times because I don't know. I don't know anybody who told on the frat. I don't know anybody who told on the gang personally. I have not seen stories about that. I don't know it.
I'm not
I've
saying
seen
a lot of
stories.
gang. I'm talking about the people.
I'm just saying.
No, I've seen
documentaries.
We have to,
right. You got to be careful about what we say. But on top of all of that, but I'm gonna tell you, but on top of all that, these groups speak. The reason why they like these groups because they speak to a direct need, which is protection. That's the main thing.
That doesn't seem like protection.
When you feel powerless, you feel power in numbers, regardless of the onset of the gang in the first place.
That's true.
You feel protected.
All right. So hold on. So we could talk about the military on that note. At Fort Bragg, which is now Fort Liberty, the 82nd, the Airborne Infantry, right? I had no idea, but I had buddies that went through that. Them jokers was, back in the day, the rank that we would get, we would wear on our collar, right? So you pull the little backs off the rank, and it's these two little metal rods on each rank. And what they would do, like when you get promoted, you take them off, and they take their hands and slam them on your rank and give you your blood ranks. Well, the Airborne Infantry, they were doing that shit on the sternum. And they had these big hammers that they was mashing them damn ranks into people's chests. So they punch them in, or they had these big ass mallets that they were banging. And so, but it's the love of the group. Everybody wants to be in some group because, again, most people are not born leaders. So they find strength in numbers.
Right.
Correct.
So, but
and if you are born leader, then you start the club and they follow you. So they can get a little bit of your shine.
But that's what
I don't have a solution for none of this shit. It's 2025 and shit is fucked up. That's just what it is.
It is what it
it's
is.
Too many fucking people. It's fucked up. People aren't reading. The Department of Education is gone. Like, eggs are $25 per. Like, you got to rent egg,
nigga. I went and stole a
There's
chicken.
no saving none of this shit.
I stole
the only thing that we, bro, the only thing that we can hope for now is that history repeats itself and we just have this renaissance where all of that stuff just becomes corny to people. Like, you know what? We've done this for about 30, 40 years. It ain't getting us nowhere, but a lot of us ain't coming home. Maybe we should do something different. Like, this has gotten old.
But that's what I'm saying. Isn't that part of our responsibility? Is to find ways to make those messages come through before we get out of
it's
here.
not part of ours because OGs normally tend to be like 28 through 35, bro. Our age is what? Triple OG?
Yeah, we triple OG.
Ain't nobody listening to us.
Shit.
Nigga, they all call us old, bro.
They do, but they don't. They don't test me though.
I'm actually.
They don't test me.
I'm actually past Unk at this point. Yeah, I'm not even Unk no more. Yeah, I'm past Unk.
I'm sorry, nigga.
But here's the thing. But it is. But no, I know. I agree with you.
I got a grandbaby, nigga. Ain't nobody listening to me. Like, that's what puzzles me about why people be listening to these presidents. Like, these niggas is in their 80s, nigga.
Though,
right.
I'm not saying it's not our job to say something, but what I'm saying is the responsibility, we take that responsibility, but it don't fall on us because we don't look cool enough. Like, somebody that's 28 years old that's talking to hear me out.
Yo, I be talking to the people at the jail all the time. They got a lot of respect for my shit.
And they will have respect for you, but that's not what I'm saying. Like, in these streets right now, bro, if you're 27 or 28 and you still kind of in that life, but you telling young niggas, hey, you have a better chance of reaching them than the nigga with gray hairs that's not wearing the right shoes or the right pants. These kids aren't like we were. We listen to our elders.
You miss all the shots you don't take. That's all I'm saying.
I feel you, but I'm not telling you that I'm not saying shit to people. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, bro, if I want to go talk hip hop music, I'm not going to go sit in a room full of Mormons that look nothing like me, that don't even listen. You know what I'm saying? I need to know.
You might be missing out. You might be missing out on some good shit, though.
Maybe, just like the people that set up Walmart. Yeah, I get it. But my point that I'm trying to illustrate here is, it's like a pastor. If I go into a church and I hear, oh, like, I already know this term. I'm not going to identify with this term. I might understand part of it. But if this nigga ain't robbed a bank or something or done something fucked up, I don't see him as grasping the type of reality to make him want to tell me something that makes a difference in my life. If he's like, have you ever waited till 10 o'clock to brush your teeth. Like, nigga, I don't know. Now, what are you
that's
talking
my whole
about?
point.
Nigga?
So the verbiage has to come from someone with the history.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Doggy Dogs. That's the Nipsey Hussle.
But Snoop Dogg is just. He's not, bro.
How do you know he's not saying these things?
15. I said that he does do stuff in the background, but I'm saying like you don't see it on TV like that. But even at that point, this nigga's almost 60, bro.
I get
you done
it.
spent most of your life telling people it's good to murder, and now you telling them it's not. Like, it's certain things like, bro.
I
like, what's his name? King Vaughn. King Vaughn couldn't come out with a Christian album after all of that.
Well, he's no longer here because of the type of shit
I
he was
get
doing.
that, but that's my point. It would be like, what? It would be a highway frisbee. Like, ain't nobody listening to that from him.
And that's part of the problem. It's like, even if somebody goes and makes an adjustment, we can't even support them doing
That's why
shit.
I said what I said. That's why I said it's fucked up and it can't be fixed anymore. It just is. So
I would never say that.
I'm saying I'm not going to stop trying to fix it, but it just can't, yo. People are nasty as shit, bro. You seen Twitter?
I understand that.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, but that's why I don't go on that bitch.
But just because you're not
but
on
that
it, don't
contradicts
mean
what
that's
you
not the
just
world.
said.
Right.
No, I'm actually in the real world talking to real people or doing handshakes and handing out dollar bills myself. 2 people. I don't give a damn what the internet say. I'm talking to real people because half the shit you see on the internet don't exist in real life when you walk these streets.
And I respect that. I agree with that. But at the end of the day, that real world you talk about is more influenced by that damn Twitter that you avoiding.
I know, but if I talk to more people and get them unplugged, then we're going to be all right.
I feel you.
Just help me do this. Help me do it.
I am. I'm not saying that I'm not. See, that's what you're missing my point. I be at the gas station. I be around the way talking to niggas.
I'm talking to people on the other side of the camera. I'm not saying you didn't do it, man. Don't do that. I'm saying everybody out there, help me out.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, yeah. Everybody help us out. But at the same time, I'm just saying, I'm doing the work. I'm in the church. I donate not just to the tithes and offerings, but to actually help people get out of bad situations. But my point is, it's just like. It's like one of them things like trying to hold a balloon full of water with a whole bunch of pins in it, bro. You can keep filling that thing with water, but it's just fucked up. I don't see it. Cause I was talking to my fiance the other day. We went to the Golden Corral, bro. I said, look at that girl at the register. This girl's mug was like, I'm like, damn, yo, this girl's like 16, 17 years old. Like,
rough life, anyone?
Wherever she, like that face was normal for her. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to physically mush my face to look that angry. These kids just look angry. Like, it's just who they are.
But that's because they're fed nothing
what do you
but
think
angry
happens?
Messages. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, how do you think that fucking
angry.
Yeah.
We angry. We are Generation X. It is Generation Y and Z are after us. So if they're fucked up, it's because we was fucked up. We just seem to know the difference to a little bit different extent about the entertainment side of music. It's like right now, everybody, we were on the cusp of it. Everybody wanted to be a thug. We were just lying though. We weren't going out there and actually doing the shit. You know what I'm saying? We were fine with lying about it until somebody figured it out. Today's kids ain't like that. King Von and all them stopped all that. You gotta really, these niggas was talking about shit they actually did in a song, snitching on themselves. All of a sudden you hear rap lyrics in court
that's what I'm
cases.
trying, that's what I'm trying to get at is the power of words. And that's really what I was trying to say. Is that we would like the thugs back then, like 80% of the rappers were lying about it. Now these kids today are really out there doing it.
I'll tell you.
But listen, let me finish. Let me finish real quick. That's why I won't say it can't be fixed, because if I truly believe that, then I'm not going to really, really try. You know what I'm saying? So I just say the power of words. I'm not going to say that because I don't want to give myself that little self-hypnosis of where in the back of my mind, I think it's an empty cause. And so I'm dead behind my eyes when I'm doing some charity and shit. I don't want to do that. You know
I agree. But I will say this, a good starting point would be to feed these children healthy food.
Yes.
That would be a good starting point. I do that.
Food is a good thing to have. I will say
It's
that.
fuel.
Like, if you're
Fuel for
not
the rest of
fueled,
you.
right? If you're not fueled, then you can't function. It's as simple as that. If you ain't got nothing to eat,
And good fuel.
because when I don't have nothing to eat, I'm liable
Didn't
to
the
commit
administration
crime.
just get rid of damn school lunches and shit for them kids?
Something like that, but not exactly. I'll just say this: no school lunches were missed by any kids that I know. So whatever they did do did not directly affect that, at least at this point. So I don't know what is going on.
Well, I know an educator, and they are really attacking the farm program that's free and reduced meals. And some schools are a lot of where these at-risk and food insecure people have all their meals. The kids have all of them. They get there early to get breakfast, and then they have their snack, then they have their lunch, and they get something to take home as well. Like, it's that bad, yo. It's that bad. And
that's all under Department of Agriculture, and people didn't really know that. So I think when they were cutting it shit, they might not have really looked into that before they started trying to take all the stuff from Department of Agriculture, not knowing it was directly connected to the fucking school lunches. So,
like, when they cut the IRS and found out, oh, wait a minute, them student loans, we got to keep some niggas here.
Right, we need that dirt, nigga. We need that dirt. But truth be told, I was really just wondering, like, because of the situation that I had recently, and even the question that we're having tonight, it was kind of like, what can I really do? I talked to guys at the jail, but most times you can get a motherfucker to agree to a lot of changes in their life at a jail.
Niggas said hell go to corral.
Right.
Hey, Golden Corral, boy, they got some good chicken. The Golden Corral chicken, I like the chicken. I like the chicken. I'm not a big fan of the pork stuff they have in there. Not a big fan. Not the bacon and none of that.
I'm sorry for interrupting you,
but
bro.
No,
this guy Gadfield, whatever.
Yeah, Gadfield's been jumping off in the chat. Thank you for being in the chat too, Gadfield. I know we over here just
he
talking
said
our
food
shit.
insecure but drug secured.
Ain't got no food, but we got drugs on all the corners.
All of them.
And if you
no
you
milk,
can't
but
get
we
your
got
drugs,
Molly.
Right. He said no milk, but we got Molly. But no, it was kind of like, I find that when I talk to people at the jails, right, or people who are recently out on probation, they're always like on this, I'm ready to give back, ready to change my life. I wish I'd have never done the shit I was doing. I wish somebody would have told me the shit you telling me before. They always seem like that when they like fresh out the Bing. It's the ones that either have never been to the Bing or haven't been in quite some time, or did go, but it wasn't for nothing major. And they just keep going into this deeper rabbit hole of bullshit until, like Bricks was talking about, they end up with 300 and something years over some string of crimes that really wasn't going to give them much. Like, let's steal a bunch of Kias. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? So when are we allowed to tell the group that's actually doing it? This, like I said, I'm talking to people who are like mid to late 20s and older. And they seem to be on the other end of it, like, yo, I wish I wouldn't have done that when I was 18. Kind of like we were in our late 20s, right? I can't bridge the gap, like you said, to the 18s. That's the one, because you got to get them before they start fucking it up.
The thing is that you have to cut the message off at the head. And I believe it is section 230 or whatever it's called, but I think it's called 230, where they said that the internet platforms are not responsible for the things that are put on there.
That's
right?
bullshit.
And so that means people, yes, I know, but that's the thing. That's why people can do whatever the hell they want. That's why they said there's no consequences. You know what I mean?
Believe it's
like the rules that the YouTube,
yeah.
the YouTube cuts us off because they just say, oh, that's kind of bad for, advertisers. That's the only reason they do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But they're not responsible for any of the stuff they put out here. I mean, but if they made them responsible, like news organizations are, you know what I mean? Like any place that could be sued, you know what I mean? If they made them responsible, then we would kill some of this stupid ass messaging out there.
But that's the problem. We support the messaging. We support the crash out dummy like Aaron the Plumber, who's got 60-something thousand subscribers. I ain't never heard of this dude on YouTube before. We've been busting our asses for 2 years to get to 5,000. And we're having
That's because we're
actual
not
conversation.
negative, bro.
But that's what I'm
We're
saying.
not negative enough.
So the problem, I think it all
Because they don't listen to old people is what I was trying to tell you 15 minutes ago.
They listen to old people. They listen to old people who say fuck shit though. They listen to old people who say fuck shit. Though.
Well, that's true. We just had an election.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I mean,
the thing is that it's a rage economy, dog. It's a rage economy, dog.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
If
YouTube gives us a place to speak about certain things. If I came on here and I was just on some goofy ass ratchet bullshit, fuck bitches, blah blah blah. If I was on that, I guarantee the channel would have blown the fuck up. Just for the I guess the controversy of it or whatever, but they would have pushed that content.
Bro, put a banner on your next broadcast that says Trump 2028 and watch to see if you don't get to 5,000 that day.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. And that's what I was trying to explain to folks.
Fuck shit is celebrated around here, man. Fuck shit is celebrated.
But even just forget the fuck shit that is or is not done by Trump. Just his name is trending too much. So that a smaller channel like us that wants to have a conversation about poor parenting, which in my opinion is the real root cause of a lot of this shit, parents either not being there or not giving a fuck, and how do we talk to them? I don't know. You got to. Do you
remember the first time? Do you remember the first time President Tan Man got in office? Do you remember the first time? The thing is, everyone thought he was a joke, but we just kept talking about him. We fed the thirsty. We didn't starve him. Because and then he got more and more. He just naturally got more airplay than everybody else because we couldn't stop talking about him because of the negativity and his silliness, and we just didn't know what he was going to say. And he won because of that. And it's our fault because we wanted to talk about what's trending.
But see, that's the only way
we did that.
But that was the only way that anyone was listening. That's the problem. We had to mix it up. Remember, we had to do that. We created whole episodes where we would pick the one thing that everybody was talking about, and then we would talk about all our other shit, like we're doing tonight. This is a perfect example of that. I didn't do a Trump thing tonight because I, for one, am getting tired of this motherfucker right now. I keep hearing about money, and I want my 5,000. So if you ain't talking about my 5 stacks, I ain't got shit to hear from you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you try to make me go and use a certain bathroom or something, hey, it's gonna be a fight. It is what it is. If we get to that point,
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're not getting that 5 stacks because he's gonna be like, well, I was gonna give y'all the 5 stacks, but y'all did me dirty at midterm. So, you know what I mean? I don't have any friends in Congress, so that's what's gonna happen.
And here's the funny thing: like, there's another one. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, he's sending a bunch of money back to the government. Like, apparently they found some shit like $800-something million or something that they don't need, apparently, and they're sending it back to the federal government. Why don't you just give it to the people that live in the state?
Didn't y'all just have like several natural disasters?
Well,
that's crazy.
You know what? I can't dig in any deeper than this right now because I am at a loss.
That's what Diddy said.
I'm at a loss for solutions. Because like I said, I saw an 18-year-old kid disappear from the face of the earth, so to speak, just because some other kid didn't have the shit that kid had. And so all of a sudden his life value was low to this other person. And I'm like, how do we increase our awareness of each other's human experience? How do we make the kids who are 18-ish understand how precious fucking life is? When we're just promoting nothing but music that says kill everybody that looks like you. Fuck
it doesn't matter about the
music.
Give them something to achieve. Because right now
we had Satan. That's what the problem is. We had Satan.
No, the problem is the thing is that you're not going to look towards the future if you have.
I was afraid of Satan my whole life and still am. So the thought of doing really negative things to people is a way that I did not want to be judged when I get to meet God.
So are you saying they need
These
Jesus?
kids don't have it.
Sounds like
they kind of do. Jesus. But if it ain't Jesus, it's a higher power or something positive.
Something to work towards. Not like look. I get it and I understand it and I understand that's the power of religion. But give them something to achieve, something they can shoot towards. Because if they have no hope, they're not gonna give a shit about nothing.
But that's the thing. We train them to think the best they can be is fucking rappers, hoes,
See, that's
bitches,
what's wrong with you,
and
man.
some more stuff.
Jesus is hope. He is.
No,
He's hope, bro.
But I'm serious. It's the ascension to greatness is to become a full blown nigga. Like that's the greatness. That's the motivation.
I don't subscribe to that because you said we. It is not we that is doing that. I'm gonna tell you because you're talking about this. These influences are coming through mediums we do not control. Right. You have to understand that. So you can't say we.
I'm gonna be honest.
You can't say we because
we control some of it.
What do we really control? No, the last one that we actually controlled part and parcel was BET, and Bob Johnson sold that a long time ago.
Well, I don't mean.
What do you think a kid is more scared of? The nigga on the block with the guns on his hip or his mom? So when his mom says stay in school and do the right thing, but the nigga down the street is telling him, nah, we gonna be out here moving these packs.
But see, that's the fucking problem. Let me give you myself as an example. You know, I've been in a lot of different spaces, and I had some hood-ass friends that would, by all accounts, would be considered no-good niggas, right? Them same no-good niggas used to tell me, yo, we get ready to go do something. You go do something else because your spot ain't here. We need you not locked up or dead on the street. We need you to be able to talk to people. We need you to be able to move forward into other spaces that we can't. Those were the OGs, but they were my age. And they were like, yo, that's not what we need you to do. We need you in this space, kind of like an infiltrator, so to speak. We don't need you out here getting your hands dirty too early because then you'll be locked up with the rest of us and not able to do what the hell you got to do in the world. These were thugged out niggas that thought like this. So if they were thinking like that when I was coming up, it wasn't nobody pushing me to do nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, they were telling me, don't do this shit. I was the one that was like, nah, fuck that, I'm coming. You know what I'm saying? So if we had that then, why are we not that for the new group now? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I don't know that it's not happening. I don't know that it's not happening. That's the whole thing. Because there is no, the current system that exists today, there is no benefit for them to push that message. There's no benefit for them to do that.
What is a benefit to us?
Yes, but they don't care about us other than our participation, our rage, and our money.
To care about us is what I'm saying.
I don't know, but I gotta
go out on these
go.
streets and do the thing.
We got it, because we'll do this. You know how we do.
Yes, Gadfly said it right. It starts with you.
It does.
It starts with us.
It does. And
so go out on these streets and you talk to folks.
And I have.
And we keep doing this. And this is what it is. We keep doing this and saying the shit we're saying tonight. Eventually, it's gonna click with somebody, and somebody's gonna tell somebody. You know what I mean?
I'm hoping so.
We're using our voice. We're using our voice positively, and that's what we can do.
Yeah, because I'm personally tired of the damn little murals on a corner because somebody done got shot up. None of them NAACP people show up for any of that shit when black people are killing black people. It's only when the police do some shit that they even care, even though we're doing the shit to each other every day. And I want that to stop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I don't want the police shit to stop, but it seems like the biggest threat to black people is other black people. And why we view each other with such a low value, not us, but in a grand sense, this is at least the stereotype that's been accepted by a mass of people to the point where it's dangerous for those of us that don't think like that. We have to find a way to communicate across all lines because we're the only culture that does all this shit. Everybody else is always trying to come up, work together, at least from what I see. Of course, I'm not in those cultures, but just from what I see, they don't accentuate the worst of their culture. They try to help them out of it and then, move forward. We literally just promote only the negative shit. That's why it was so good to hear Locksmith, because I haven't heard nobody rap like that in quite some time. I'm going to be honest with you. All I ever hear is some bullshit unless I'm listening to my old, hip hop and all of that. And even I get a little wild once I get into the mid 2010s with my Rick Ross and all of that. But I know it was just, Rick Ross was a CEO. He was joking, in my opinion, but it was catchy music. So I can separate it. I'm not going to move packs in Miami because Rick Ross said something about it. But these kids are doing exactly what they're hearing in this music. And we can't even tell them not to do it because we're thinking we're totally disconnected. But if we don't say shit, we got to answer for that later. And that's where my problem was.
Yep.
So I'm just saying, I know we're going to continue this because I, for one, am not going to dedicate every show to fucking Trump or Elon Musk or any of them motherfuckers because they ain't giving me my 5K. I want my money. Okay? But we have to have these conversations because if we ain't in the right space, forget if they're giving out money. We're not getting it as a community. We're still going to be stuck in the same spot. And I want to really start having those conversations. This shit the other day really fucked me up, man. I'm not even going to lie to you. And I'm like, what could I have done? And there was nothing, like we just said. So now I'm trying to figure, all right, well, what can I do to prevent the next one? At least one that I'm close to. You see what I'm saying? I can't be around every kid everywhere, but this one was in my house every fucking day. This one spent the night on the weekends with my son. This one was within arm's reach, and there was nothing I could do with that. So that's where I'm like confused. So I'm sorry if I had to let that all out on you, but I'm trying to find a way to just get people to wake up on a larger scale. That's it. That's all it is. That's all it is, man. So I'm sorry. I get out there sometimes, and I'm thanking y'all for giving me the patience.
Don't be sorry about anything. Don't be sorry about a damn thing. You speaking up for the people who are not here. You're speaking up for positivity and common sense. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Don't ever apologize for that, sir.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is my kids are cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, my kids are okay. I'm not trying to diminish anything, but I'm just saying, whoo, you know what I'm saying? But when it gets that close, it's like, all right, it's getting a little close. I got to make sure that everything is all right, at least in my camp. And now,
hey, I love y'all, man. Thank you so much for having me, bro.
Pieces to the out on Bricks, and then we're getting ready to get out of here anyway. I know Bricks got to go. So thank you guys for coming and checking us out on another Purge the BS. You know I'll be back to talk my shit on a Tuesday morning because I do that. But thank y'all for letting me get that off my chest because that's where we need to start focusing. I'm not going to focus on Trump. He ain't focused on me. So I'm focused on him. I'm going to watch what he's doing so he don't catch me by surprise. But this show ain't about him. This is about building better communities for people that look like us and having better conversations than some ratchet bullshit or some pop the balloon dating. That's all I'm saying. But anything else, guys? You got anything else before we get out of here?
Nah, I love y'all. Good night, man.
Gadfield, thanks for being in the chat.
It should be turtle season soon.
Oh, God. And y'all, have a great night. It has been amazing as usual. But if you are not ready to move forward in this world and do something positive for yourself, your family, your future, and your community, then you are on that bullshit. And I'm out.